Greetings loyal subscribers and honoured guests. Welcome to episode 4 of my compilation station series dedicated to Rare Replay. This time I decided to stick with the NES for a while longer and play Snake, Rattle and Roll. In this game you and a friend can take control of the two snakes, Rattle or Roll, as you explore an isometric world full of bizarre enemies and deadly traps. The object of each level is to get to the exit, however before you can do that you first need to open it. That entails finding a bell and standing on a pressure plate to ring it. Should your snake not weigh enough however, then the bell won't ring. This is where Nibbly Pibblies come in, little pill-shaped creatures that happen to be the favourite food of Rattle and Roll. By eating enough of these little things, your tail will grow longer. This has the effect of allowing you to take more hits at the cost of a tail segment, and also makes you heavy enough to ring the bell should you reach full length. Early levels are fairly straightforward with just a few simple enemies that you can take care of with a few stabs from your tongue and nice easy jumps. As the game progresses though, the difficulty level shoots up pretty rapidly and there are very tricky jumps, saw blades that come out of nowhere and things that try to push you off the edge of the level. Things would be tough enough if it weren't for the tricky perspective that the game uses. The isometric viewpoint can make it incredibly difficult to judge distances correctly, and so you will most likely plummet to your doom repeatedly. The controls are not that easy to get used to either, and the level designs will often place things in just the right place to cause your demise should you not be anticipating it. For example, one of the stages has a tough section where you have to traverse a gap by riding on a magic carpet that keeps disappearing for a second, so you have to jump at the right time to stay on. At the end of this section there is a tricky jump back onto solid ground, which is hard enough to make already. However, the designer of the level thought it was a good idea to place an item that reverses your controls right on the edge where you're likely to hit it by accident, and then hurl yourself into the pit before you've even realised what's going on. The game is full of stuff like that and can become very frustrating very quickly. Luckily the game is quite generous with continues, it does give you half a dozen or so. With a bit of practice you can get better at the earlier levels and gradually get further, but it can be a bit of a slog. Combine the tricky platforming with a tight time limit and things start to get ridiculous later on. This is one game where I really didn't mind resorting to cheats in order to see some of the later levels. Now, with all the games I've covered previously in the Rare Replay compilation, I have stuck with them until I've managed to earn every milestone and every snapshot. But in the case of Snake, Rattle and Roll, I found the game was making me far too angry and I eventually had to step away from it. I doubt I will ever earn the milestone for completing every level in the game, as though it's just too damn hard. I might be able to complete snapshot number 5 eventually. I'm not admitting defeat just yet, but it ain't easy, that's for sure. Before I wrap things up, let's just touch on the presentation for a second or two. The game looks great with nice colourful graphics that are very well drawn and animated. The range of enemies is rather surreal, from Monty Python style feet that stomp around to things that look like pieces from a game of checkers. The music is great too, and in keeping with the title of the game sounds like 60s rock and roll music from Greece or something similar. There really is quite a lot to like about Snake, Rattle and Roll, and your enjoyment will definitely be enhanced if you can find another player to play through the game with, but it can also be incredibly annoying at times and had me very close to throwing my controller once or twice. Overall then, it's worth checking out and earning as many stamps as you can from it without losing your sanity, but for me the difficulty means that I'm only going to award it a score of 6 out of 10. There will be another Rare Replay episode in a few weeks' time. I'll probably be continuing with the older games on the collection for a while as they are quicker to make. That review of Cameo will be coming eventually though. In the meantime, take care.